way when he's ready. Oh, I got to change out my glasses here. I've tried to introduce myself to some of you. I'm Allison Beatty. I organized this today. Thank you. Never done this before. We'll see how it goes. I have a friend who said, no, don't worry, it's your first of many rallies. But it's really great to see you all. I'm Allison Beatty. I've lived in Cherryfield with my husband since 2018. I'm on the school board here. I volunteer for a couple of local organizations, and I truly love this community. That's mostly why I'm here. I believe in the power of community. So many things my husband and I do have at the base, the most basic call is a call to community. That's what we're doing here today. After we rallied on the bridge in Cherryfield for the first 50-51 rally, some of you may have participated in that somewhere else, but we were here on the bridge. I said, we should do this every Tuesday. And so every Tuesday from 12 to noon, we're on the bridge. We started with 9. We had 38 last Tuesday. So I doubled that and said 78 would be a good number, or 75 would be a good number here. And like I said, I think I counted 100. So I'm really pleased. Good for you all. We're all here as part of 1,200 rallies across the country today. They started with 600, and then people like me just kept signing up and saying, no, I'll have one in my community. Because I know not everybody can or wants to drive all the way to Augusta or even Bangor. So thank you for coming from all the local towns that you came from this morning to join us. So we may not be the largest gathering, but we're down east, and we're going to do it the down east way. It may be different, but that's us. I want to give us the chance to see if we're the kind of crowd that wants to chant things back and forth, a little call and response. If it gets annoying, I'll stop, I guess. But if we like it, let's do this. So my first idea is for us to, I'm going to say stand, and you say together. Can we do that? Am I supposed to have a microphone that I do? No? Okay, no. All right. So I'll say stand. Together. Stand. Together. Stand. Together. Stand. Together. Okay, I have to say, that's amazing, and I hope I don't cry through this. First, a couple of housekeeping things. The Paisley Loon, which is across the bridge and on the other side, has allowed us to use their restroom today. They have one little restroom, so please be super respectful. Ignore the customer only sign, they said, but buy a cup of coffee, a pastry, put $1 in the tip jar, something to show our respect for this local business. There are some signs to borrow. I know some of you found them. There's a box near the Easter eggs. Please return them when you can. Like I said, we're on the bridge every Tuesday. They'll be put to good use. And Peter Dustin brought this bag full of flags. These flags have all been, correct me if I'm wrong, where is Peter? Over the graves of our local service members who gave their lives for this country. And that is why we are here. So if you want something to carry today, carry a flag. I understand they don't need to be returned, but please treat them with the respect that they represent. Now we have a photographer out here today. Adrian is here. You'll see him with a big camera. He is here to document the event, but not to make anybody uncomfortable. But just so you know, he's not some weird creeper here to, send your information to the government. He is here to document this great moment, really. And safety, big safety concern when we're on the bridge. Please be aware that cars are going to be going by, and we've seen how they're treating us already. Stay back from the edge. Don't put your signs or bodies into the street. We will post reminders that the speed limit on either end of the bridge. We're going to remind people that the speed limit is 25 miles an hour. But you know how that goes. And some of these gentlemen, we'll see. We'll just see. But I know for some of you, when somebody drives by the way they have been, you want to engage. You want to tell them something or hear from them in some way. But I will ask that we just don't engage. There's no reason to engage. They can't hear us. They don't want to hear us. They want us to hear them, and we heard them, and it's America, and that's awesome. We will not be engaging. If by chance there's a heckler that joins us, we will chant over them. I'll give you a chant and we'll chant over them. Don't surround them, please. That is just going to make people upset. We will smile. We will not say mean things. Please don't engage. I don't want people to say, oh, those people in Cherryfield, when I came to counter protest. That's just not who we are here in Cherryfield or in Down East. So as I said, we're down east. We're going to do this our way. We're opening with the Pledge of Allegiance. And when I told people that, some of them said, whoa, the pledge always makes me feel disengaged, like we're just doing something rote. But again, I want to call you to what this pledge concludes with. And those words, liberty and justice for all, are why I'm here this morning. Those are not an empty promise. That is our call to action this morning. It's the most patriotic thing we can do to ask our government to ensure that every person who makes this country their home has access to the education, opportunities, and support they need to thrive. That's what America is, liberty and justice for all. So Peter Dustin is a beloved member of our community. He's impacted more lives for good than I can even, than anyone I know, honestly. The stories go on forever. But what he wanted to say, and he told me to keep it short, so this is the shortest version ever. What he wanted me to say, that he is a former Republican for almost 30 years, but is disgusted with what has happened to the Republican Party since Trump was elected the first time. And I happen to know there are some others like him out in the crowd today. He's a retired soldier with 34 years active in reserve service. And for the last 25 years, he's continued to wear his uniform as the bugler with military honor guards, assisting at hundreds of veterans' funerals. And it's truly my honor to have him lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance today. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Allison. So I stand here as a retired soldier. I just finished reading the news that Trump and gang are laying off 80,000 VA workers. We didn't have enough VA workers. Anybody that's a veteran and goes through the VA, you had to wait and wait and wait. And now it's going to be even far worse. So I hope that you will wave these little flags that have been flown over the graves of our veterans. We've saved these each year so that we can use them for something like this and also for Memorial Day. So when I enlisted in the military, I took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. My first 2 years, it was against Russians, because I was a Russian linguist. The last few years, it's against our own government, and it's terrible. So if you would join with me with the Pledge of Allegiance, what we're really saying is that we believe in our democracy. We are the people, we are our own democracy, as demonstrated by all of you out here today, and I salute you. I will say that when we say the pledge, please place your hand over your heart, and if you are a veteran, and there are some out there, please salute. So with me now, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Peter. And now, of course, this is where we do USA, 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 USA. Because this is ours, man. Hands off. Hands off. So I wanted to do a check-in, though. How are we feeling? Right now, good. How have we been feeling?
Sick.
Who's been tired?
Sick.
Who's been sad? How about scared? Frustrated? Numb? Some days? Sick to your stomach? How about anxious or hopeless? Not hopeless. All right. Optimists out there everywhere. Powerless, angry, ashamed, trouble sleeping. Yeah, I think our med use in America has been right. Okay, we got meds in the back. Traumatized. Well, I've been all of these things at one time or another in the last few months, and it's only been a couple of months. It's been like 75 days. Like, how is this possible? But guess what? I'm also a patriot. And I said that to somebody at the Loon, and he kind of chuckled. And that made me upset and a little bit sad. Some of our fellow Americans don't recognize us as patriots, but we are patriots. I believe in the Declaration of Independence. I believe in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And so for our friends who took the trouble yesterday to put up some Trump van signs, good for you. Good for you. We are patriots. We're here to make courage contagious. This is public courage that you're all embodying by simply being here today with us, in community with us, because we know we must have our voices heard. It takes some personal courage to take action, to be here today. I truly appreciate your courage and commitment. And also because otherwise I'd be talking to like the few squirrels that are around. When you throw a party and it's an open house and you don't know who's coming. I had those fears. I had a hard time sleeping last night, but it was for my own selfish reasons. You're an inspiration. And to others who witness us today, you noticed how many people were driving by clapping? Also, we have to look at those people too. It's hard for people to be out here, but they see us out here, and that gives them courage. We've often had people come to us after the Tuesday protests and say, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing that. Many are inspired by you showing up today. I'm sure you had friends tell you, oh, good for you. Glad you're going. So I also believe in democracy, and that means we have to believe in the ups and downs, the mistakes that have been made along the way. Look at our history. It's full of mistakes. It's full of missteps. But I have to say, the subsequent and inevitable victories that we can claim throughout our history, we must take hope from that as Americans and as patriots. And I have to tell you, I'm not going to spend my time this afternoon talking about all the cruel, unconstitutional, and devastating actions that have been going on these last months. That's some of the advice from the national kind of organization, get people up here talking about the horrible things that they've experienced. We've read it all. That's why we can't sleep. Why do you want to hear me talk about all of that? And if you came to hear me talk about that, I'm sorry, I'll hook you up to Facebook feed and you can read everything terrible. I've had to take the local terrible news too, but that's all right. And the thing is, they keep coming fast and furious. I don't even know if I could keep up, because a few days ago it was Meals on Wheels and Alzheimer's care, and now it's Head Start. And as Peter just said, I hadn't even heard about that, firing 80,000 VA workers when they said they wouldn't do that, of course. And then our president chose going to $1 million a plate fundraiser over honoring the 4 service people killed in Lithuania. Like, huh? And again, being surprised seems naive. Power's being abused, we know. Our government is being looted. They continue to seize authority they don't lawfully have. Chaos, control, censorship, cruelty, those 4 C's. I might have said 5. But that's not what I want to focus on today. Because today we came together as patriots. That word gets said many more times than the T word. We are upholders of democracy. And I kind of liken it to a fairy tale, this democracy. It's really a bit preposterous if you think about it. Very complex story, and we may not get it right. We haven't always gotten it right. Not at first, anyway. And there are villains, like in any good fairy tale, right? There have been villains throughout our history, throughout world history. But guess what? Every villain, every time, they have always been vanquished in every fairy tale and throughout our history. The villains are not winning. And we will triumph again because Trump is not invincible. And I want to hear how that sounds. Trump is not invincible. Is not invincible. Trump is not invincible. Trump is not invincible. I refuse to believe that he is not invincible. Sometimes it doesn't seem like I'm correct or that we are correct, but I'm going to continue to believe that. Because this group of villains, this set of obstacles, this is a set of obstacles. This delusional attempt to take over our government and our country will be overcome. I have no doubt that the people will prevail. Look at us here in this park, for goodness sakes. Over 100 people, down East Main, Cherryfield, give me a break. Okay, I'm not going to cuss. I'm going to really try not to cuss. But anyway, it's amazing. We will prevail. 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 Right, Peter's with us. All right, I feel good. I will say the courts are helping us in the first 70 days of the administration, and it's only been like 75, so who knows what's happened. There have been 46 cases in which federal judges have blocked the policies of the administration. 39 judges who've been appointed by 5 different presidents, both sides of the aisle. They've taken these actions in 11 different district courts across 7 different circuits. Truth and justice will prevail, and I'm going to ask you to repeat that. Truth and justice will prevail. Truth and justice will prevail. One more time. Truth and justice will prevail. We are Americans. We live and thrive here in a tiny part of rural America. Down East Main, baby. Here we go. We've chosen to live here either because our families raised us here or we're from away. I heard a lot of New York, New Jersey. I'm just sorry. I hear it because I'm from Long Island myself. But I came here every summer as a kid. My dad was born and raised in Western Maine and came to Western Maine every summer for 3 or 4 weeks. We chose to live here. Many of us came and chose to live here. We picked this spot. We said, this is beautiful. This is the kind of life I want to live. And so here we are. And we are not 5%. In Cherryfield, 35% of people voted for not the other guy, not the guy who won. Not the 5% people think, because we live in our bubbles, right? We think everybody's like us. And that's not correct. So the people here, you guys, I'd put your skills up against that group of billionaires anytime, because think about it. This gives me pleasure. Who would win a contest of survival? without their money and their access? Give them a backpack of supplies, like how long before they're dead? Just a puddle on the ground. We know how to survive. We're Mainers. We can, I made a list. We can build a house. We can build a fire. We can harvest a deer. We can plant a garden, preserve food, raise children and chickens, lots at the same time, support our neighbors, fix stuff, make do, build community, and we're doing that. This is it. Can any of the billionaires who are at the top of this crazy pyramid we're on do any of that? And rake blueberries. How many people bought school clothes because they rake blueberries? You got school clothes out of that.
And rake grease.
There you go. The list goes on, all right? The list goes on. Am I covered? Okay. And here's the other thing that just drives me crazy. If you had $1 billion, what would you do? like a billion, like a billion, 1,000 million. Well, if I had a billion, I'm just going to tell you, I'd be fixing problems, just me. I'd be hiring people. I'd be bringing costs down. I'd help the neediest survive, and I'd help those who just need a boost to really thrive. What would you do if you had like more than 1 billion? Like a lot of billions. Woohoo! Thank you.
Would win an election.
There you go. You win an election. Medical bills would be paid.
Medicare for all.
Medicare for all. Would you fire thousands of people every week? It just keeps coming. How about? Okay.
You're fired.
And people are being fired without notice or any reason, which is really difficult. Would you close local government offices, making everything harder for those with the fewest resources? Would you cut funding for cancer research? I love that one. And again, would you do whatever crazy thing just happened that I didn't have time to put in this? No, I don't think any of us would. I have to quote fellow patriot Bernie Sanders here. This nation was built by working people. And we are not going to let a handful of billionaires run the government. And I'm going to change one word. It's not the government, it's our government. We're not going to let billionaires run our government. This is crazy. Hands off. This is ours. Heather Cox Richardson, another wonderful patriot. Many people read her every morning, right? And we talk about her and keep her close. I have to say Robert Hubble is another big favorite of mine. But she has laid it out. This is what government is supposed to do. The American government, the government we all agreed to. Regulate business, provide a basic social safety net, promote infrastructure, right? I like roads. I'm just saying, because we got to have somewhere these guys can burn up their tires. Protect our civil rights, support our institutions, right? This seems a simple thing, but like I said, it's a fairy tale. It's this complex stuff. It doesn't come easy. And it doesn't seem to jive with the values of this administration for sure. But we're concerned citizens. And I've already said 100 times, we're patriots. We are the patriots. And we're not going to let that get taken from us. I know some of us have felt the flag was taken from us. That's not okay. We are patriots. We are Americans. We will be counted. Again, we're part of a movement today that has over 1,200 rallies around this country. We the people. Oh, and that's right. There's international. There's a few around the world. We're not going to let the billionaires take an even bigger chunk of our country's wealth. It's not theirs. Hands off. It's ours. We built this country. We are the ones who know how to do the real stuff that made this country great. We've made this country together. We made this country. And now they're trying to grab more for themselves, throw us a few coins and ask us to fight for the nickels and dimes and fight with each other and fight with the other. And they'll tell us who the other is. And that's who we need to demonize, and that's who we need to fight with. I'm not in. I'm not acquiescing. We will not obey. We will not relinquish all that makes this country great. Hands off, it's ours. Hands off.
It's ours.
Hands off.
It's ours.
Hands off.
It's ours.
Hands off. Thank you. So what can we do about this? And we've been doing this. We've been donating money. We've been making phone calls. We've been writing emails, letter to the editor, signing petitions, gathering in community to say we are patriots. But here's the thing, we need to take care of ourselves. Thank goodness it's spring. We can go out and garden. We can talk to a friend. We can kiss our loved one like we mean it. Take a break if you need to, when you need to, and come back to it when you can. Because, well, unfortunately, it'll still be here, but you need to take a break. I'm almost done here, people.
Remember their names when the next election comes up.
Good. Remember their names. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Anyway. And we know some of our institutions are folding. It's really disturbing. Legacy media was really first. But the law firms caving, the top 20 that make the most money of the law firms aren't in. They have no courage right now. Universities?
Yeah, the university's caving. That's
What? That's disturbing, man. And then of course we saw the other billionaires fall right in line. Not all of them, right? We still have Bill Gates. We still have Warren Buffett, I think. And I guess Trump was quoting Buffett saying he supports his, and that was a lie. I know, it's surprising. And again, that's why I'm not going to talk about that, because we're not going to laugh all day. We're the cavalry people. We are charging up this hill. We're not on horseback. We got a couple of dogs to help us, but that's not quite the same. But we are the cavalry. We are what's coming. We are going to remember their names. We are going to hold our people accountable. This can't continue. This is our country. So I have a little more call and response here. We the people will be counted. We are the patriots. We built this country. Not the billionaires. Hands off. Hands off. We're going to do it again. We the people. We will be counted. We are the patriots. We built this country. Not the billionaires. Hands off. And I'm going to end, I'm going to try to end with this poem from L.B. Nost. All right. Where's the Kleenex? I know there's Kleenex over by the Easter eggs. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, and all things can be mended. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go. Love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. The broken world waits in darkness for the light that is you. That is what we're doing here today. So that was my first end, but then Cory Booker happened. There's a guy for you, Cory Booker. And again, some people weren't happy about that. Then they complained, I can't keep track. We just have to celebrate when we can be good. Let's do something good and say that was good.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good. And he ended, I just love that he had the whole thing planned. And he knew when he ended, he had to say something important. And he said, this is a moral moment. It's not right or left. It's right or wrong. And I'm hearing our heckler friends. We're going to go join them in a minute. And again, you're not engaging. You're not engaging. You don't need to speak to them. You can smile and nod. I please wish that for you. This is my safety equipment. I will remind you across the way. I was a high school teacher for 20 years. I will remind you across the way to just be quiet and not engage. It's really important to keep this peaceful and to be our best selves. So we're here today to celebrate in community what is right. We're letting our government know what we think is wrong. We're watching, we see you. We'll hold you accountable for the damage you're causing to our country and to this community. And a local friend said this: these cuts will affect every single person in our community, even if they don't realize it yet. And so we are here to stand as witness, to stand as patriots, to stand together. Let's do this. Stand together. Stand together. Stand. Together. Stand. Together. Stand. Together. Stand. Together. And we're going to be quiet on that bridge. We're going to just say what we want to say. We're not going to talk to people. I want to thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to Peter. Thank you to Adrian, our photographer. I think I saw him back there. Thank you to my husband, David, for doing sound and signs and everything to support this. This is not his first choice for a Saturday morning. Next rally, we will definitely have another speaker or two, so you don't have to listen to me for however long I rambled on here. Please, when we disperse to the bridge, which is what happens now, Don't put your signs or bodies into the street. It's really important to be safe. And the bridge is pretty wide. You have plenty of room to be safe on the bridge. Don't engage. Please don't engage. This is what America is about. They can say whatever they want. You do not need to speak back. You're not going to change their mind. They're not going to tell you anything that's going to be useful for you. And it can just cause problems that we don't need to be involved with. If you're having a problem, wave me down. Again, I'm from New York. I taught high school for 20 years. I broke up more fights than I could even imagine. The national organization suggests that you share videos or photos after this. And if you would use, again, this is something, I'm a little older, so I didn't even think of this, but use the hashtag hands off so they can find you and give us credit and share it nationally. And so now we're going to go to the bridge. Thank you so much for being here. Really, thank you so much. All right. Oh, thank you. All right.